Oh, you're in the right place. This is the Love Gurus podcast. We're taking ridiculous dating questions from the wild animals on Reddit and from you. Starting right now.
You think your love life is going kind of bad?
Always
Awful.
around my birthday.
Yeah.
You find out your
Terrible birthdays.
girlfriend accidentally banged your dad.
Always
I mean, he
around
should have
my
known
birthday.
better. He should have known better.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Yeah.
It's a heck of an accident.
This song was written by her prosecution attorney, her defense attorney.
Whoopsie doozle.
Your Honor, there was a Lego on the floor. She was laying just in front of the Lego.
Worst slip and fall ever.
I want to have the word affair stricken from the record. It's called a whoopsie-doo. Oh, that's right. You heard the man. This is the Love Gurus podcast. Thank you all for being here. We're about to take these ridiculous dating questions, not just from the people on Reddit, but from you out there on YouTube, out there in the chats. Give us your comments. Give us your questions. Matt on YouTube and Eugene on YouTube, say hi. What's going on?
Hello.
Yes, yes. Thank you for being here. He says, I'd like to thank the Bush family for having my back. Well, that's, yeah. I mean, you know, if nothing else, that family is known for helping out those less fortunate, you know? Absolutely. Joanne on YouTube says hello. What's going on, Joanne?
Hello.
Yeah, but we're going to take dating questions from Reddit and you guys. I'm excited. Suzanne, how was your day?
Oh, it's just amazing. You know, living in New York, people love to talk to me all the time. I was walking without my coat, even though it's cold, and a woman's like, "Aren't you cold?" And I was like, "No." And then I'm trying to cross the street, but I feel rude. Like I have to start a conversation with her. I don't know. Am I an asshole? Maybe she could have probably been my new best friend. I have no idea.
You could have been like Thelma and Louise, but instead you were a dick about it.
I was totally a dick about it. I just was like, no, and I crossed the street like a dick. I was totally a dick about it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I feel like I had to confess that because I kind of feel bad about it.
I mean, just listen to homeless people and talk to them when they babble to you. That, if I've learned nothing else in this city, always make eye contact back with them. Always respond. You know what I mean? In full sentences and everything. That's the way I do it.
Do you have any change? Well, just 2 dimes and 3 pennies. Would you like it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I always start convos with them. Absolutely.
Anyway.
But I don't like combos with homeless people nearly as much as I like combos with our two awesome guests, man. Let's introduce him. First up, he is a returning guest, a hilarious stand-up comic, Mr. Colin DiGarbo. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much. It's great to be back, guys.
Absolutely. Tell them where they can find you.
I am at DiGarbo on Twitter, and I'm Colin DiGarbo on Instagram.
There we go. There we go. Definitely follow him. Check him out live. And check out our second guest, first time to the podcast, very hilarious stand-up comic, the one, the only, Khalid Rahmaan. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
You can find me at Khalid Says on Instagram.
Find him. If you don't do that, you're missing out. Check him out live. He's hilarious. And both of our guests are hilarious. So we're going to have a hilarious podcast.
They
I feel
also
good about
have great Instagram feeds.
That's
so
right.
for those of you who ever use the bathroom, definitely scroll through. Like, you know,
Yes.
That's not condescending, right?
That's when you do it. That's when I do it.
That's what you
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
You the Instagram. I'm just saying. Yeah.
100%.
Instagram time is bathroom time.
I do all my best Instagramming while I'm
That's a T-shirt right there.
Yeah.
That's a T-shirt.
Uh-huh.
The minute doctors eliminate shitting, that's when comedians just go down the tubes, man. We're done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
I just feel like that's like you save your good Instagram, like your good, TikToks for that time.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've continued to eat terrible, even though it's going to knock a decade or so off my life, just so I can have more quality Instagram time.
It's about
you know?
it's about quality, not quantity when it comes to life. Yeah.
Exactly.
So.
All these people out there running around eating salads, missing out on all the good Instagramming.
Oh, being present. Fuck off.
Bullshit.
Okay?
Bullshit. Waste of a time, waste of a life.
Are we
That's
still
what I say.
doing one earbud in while scrolling on the toilet, or are we just doing like full speaker?
I think
Dude,
you do you. I think you do you.
I like having both earbuds in. I go both earbuds in, and dude, I am dead to the world when I'm on there. Dead to the world.
I'm honestly surprised. Bidets have really overtaken the world. I'm surprised that
Bidets
there's
do
not
rock.
a Bluetooth speaker in bidets.
you could probably make it happen. Well, I mean, I think people
Yeah.
just use earbuds, right? I mean, why would you need one?
I'm all Bluetooth speaker in the bathroom.
Yeah, 100%.
I guess
Even in
you-
public
it doesn't-
bathrooms,
it doesn't-
I bring my Bluetooth speaker into the public bathroom.
Oh my God! Thank you for saying this
Right.
because there are people that are out in the world that have like their Bluetooth speakers, and I just think they get so much unnecessary shade. I myself am like a terrible like DJ music person. So when those people are out,
Sure.
I appreciate it. When it's on the subway, I'm like, cool, I'm having a good time. It's just like so everyone's like, oh, I don't want to listen to that. It's like, oh no, I feel like you're bringing ambiance.
If the
to
music's
this.
good, absolutely.
Yeah,
It
you're
is.
bringing ambiance to the street, to the subway car. Yeah, people that have like out loud Bluetooth speakers in public. Yeah, unnecessary shade. I like those people.
Remember that time we got tanked at Coney Island and we were coming back and there was that guy on the train the whole
Oh
way?
my God, yes,
Dude.
and I gave him my phone and he gave it back to me.
He was awesome. He was
awesome.
Dude, it was the whole way back from Coney
But I
Island. There was
really
a bunch of us were
coulda- I really
tanked. This
coulda
guy was
gotten
blaring
robbed.
music.
I really coulda
and,
gotten
and we
robbed.
were like singing along Queen to it and shit. Like it was ridiculous. It was insane.
That guy was
We were
fucking
drunk
awesome.
singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's a New York miracle right
Dude,
there.
It was a
great.
fucking New York
Yeah.
miracle.
It was
a
great.
New York miracle.
It was, dude. It, like people kept, like tourists kept getting on once we got closer to the city, and they were just like, "What the fuck is going on?" The whole train was singing. Like
It
we got
was
like videos of it. The whole
oh,
train was singing.
It was, yeah. It was a New York
good times.
miracle.
Good times.
But speaking of New York miracles, I think this podcast is going to be another New York miracle.
I think so too. And before we get to the questions, we got a lot of comments here. Eugene on YouTube says, "I've had bad luck in love. Should I stay single?" Hey man, if you ain't find the right person yet, you know what I mean. Play the field. You know, get on the app, swipe, bang, do all that stuff.
Also, just as a note, just because you're single, that's not a bad thing. Everyone's like,
True.
it's like there's so much societal pressure to be in a relationship. Hey, maybe you're just cool as you are. So don't get stressed.
Absolutely. Matt on YouTube says a therapist beat me up on 101 and first at a White Castle and made me talk with him, ink blots and all. Yeah, it's therapists are aggressive now, dude. It's a post-COVID thing. Therapists beat the shit out of people. And they're like, "How does it make you feel?" Ugh. And then they just take your wallet and run off. It's crazy. They still got the pretentious patches on their fucking blazers.
All therapists
Yeah.
take your wallet.
Oh,
whether you like it or
yeah,
not.
yeah, absolutely. I'd respect them more if they beat me up first. I've never been to a therapist that wasn't court ordered. Anyway, Matt on YouTube says Danny Glover and Mel Gibson look great.
You know it, baby.
Shit.
Yeah.
What happened to us?
Everything.
You're both now too old for this shit.
Way too
What
old.
happened?
I wonder if Danny Glover sees Mel Gibson and is just like, nah. That was then. This is now.
Yeah,
nah,
yeah.
son, nah.
Now only one of us is too old for this shit. Only one of us is too old for this shit, Mel. It ain't me.
I feel like there was probably like a time in the sand, like he had birthday parties and he would invite Mel, and
Yeah.
then it was like, then Mel did Mel, and Danny's like,
And Danny's wife stepped in and was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
he's no longer
you're
welcome
not-
at the house.
Yeah. And he
Yeah,
and he
that's gotta
showed
be
up with
awkward.
a present. Yeah, and his wife had to be like, no, not
But
anymore.
I brought one for the kids. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
I'm
forgot
sorry.
he's
I
Australian.
get it. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Danny
Yeah.
Glover's like low key a leftist now. Like,
Oh yeah, dude. He
politically,
does like a lot. He goes to a lot of protests. And
I just
stuff
think
like
it's
that.
so great that
Yeah.
him and Mel Gibson both radicalized in opposite.
Dude, it's an
directions.
even
It's-
better buddy cop movie
guess-
if they take their real life personas and bring them to the screen. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, I mean it'd be great if they
Yeah.
they could really do that. Yeah.
If Officer Riggs got kicked off the force for drunken anti-Semitism,
You know what? I smell
and now
a
he's-
reboot.
Yeah, exactly. Dude.
Yeah, it's like I imagine Danny
Yeah.
Glover's character saying like, "I don't like Hillary either." Okay,
Yeah.
it's not with different reasons.
Yeah, 100%.
It honestly is amazing because that movie writes itself for two reasons. One, everyone loves a sequel. Everyone loves a reboot. Two, the character arc is written in.
Yeah.
Like you just put down what they set out in real life, and there you go. It's like we're there for the drama. We're there to follow. You know what happens? It's like these stale characters that are basically like 2D cardboard cutouts. No. Let's get into the
They're
real nuts and
embossed.
bolts of it.
They're in 3D,
Yeah.
baby.
100%.
People are all
100%.
different things. They're not just two different things. They're not just good or bad.
Financiers out there, we are ready. We're ready for this.
This is a
Absolutely.
plug. This is a plug to you, venture capitalists.
We just met 10 minutes ago, but we're ready.
We're doing
ready.
this. We're doing
got
this.
it.
Chemistry is real.
That was a teaser for what we're revealing the next episode.
Joel on YouTube says, Evening, y'all. Sorry I'm late. I couldn't find parking spot for my Chinese balloon. Yeah. Matt on YouTube says, earbud is my favorite strain of weed. He says, Subway doesn't need ambulance. He says, the Warriors on the back from the meeting in the Bronx. Yeah. Throwback.
Oh.
Throwback. Good old movie.
Yeah.
Can you dig it? Eugene on YouTube says, yes, I am happy you're single. Oh, that's good.
Hells yeah.
Joanne says, stay single, you're happier. I agree. I agree. It takes a real asshole to be like, I know you're happy signal, but you know, fuck somebody and be miserable.
Yeah. You don't need to be in a relationship if you don't want to be.
But for right now, we're going to take our first question from the wild animals on Reddit. People, if you've got questions to write in, write them to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. Or even better, like and subscribe. Listen live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. For right now, we're going to take our first one from the wild psychopaths on the land of Reddit.
First question. Girlfriend setting unreasonable boundaries. My friend and I are both 24 and we work in the same area, but different companies. This leads up to us, quote unquote, spotting each other from time to time. The most common way of us getting spotted is while we're on the street and we can be seen from the office window. Anyway, the first time that I spotted my friend through the window, I took a picture of him and sent it to our friend group on Snapchat. This started a tradition of us sending snaps of each other every time we were, quote unquote, in the wild. With that out of the way, this is the situation.
Your natural habitat.
Yesterday, me and my colleague, who's a female and 25, let's call her Jessie, and I had lunch at a cafe near our office. We have a team of 6, and every Wednesday, it's become a tradition. However, yesterday, we were the only ones in the office, combination of remote work, sickness, etc. So we were the only ones at the cafe. My friend happened to walk by, saw us through the window, and then sent a snap to our group. When I came home, my girlfriend, also 24, who I've been with for 4 years and we live together, immediately asked who the girl in the picture was. She sounded upset. I told her it was Jessie from work and that we were just out at lunch. I also told her that we usually go to this place on Wednesdays with the entire team, but it just happened to be only me and Jessie at the office. My girlfriend thought it through and told me, okay, I trust you, but in the future, if you could refrain from going to lunch with only another female colleague, I would appreciate it.
He's like his own informant, just snitching on himself via social media. I love it.
I was a bit taken aback. My girlfriend has never shown jealousy in this way, and I guess she hasn't really needed to. I just wanted to ask her why, and she goes, it's just weird, you know? To which I said, I didn't know. I didn't think it was weird. I asked her if she would mind if I had lunch with my other colleague who was male, and she said, no, it's not the same. After discussing this for about an hour, I just told her, okay, I won't avoid hanging out with someone just because she's a woman, and I think expecting that from me is unreasonable. This made her angry. She more or less told me that it's not unreasonable, it's common sense, and that me respecting her boundaries of having lunch with another woman is not unreasonable. We ended up agreeing to disagree, but it still bothers me.
Oh, no.
Is this a healthy boundary?
Oh, no. That's rough.
Okay, here's my just quick hot take on this. And I'm not trying to be shallow by saying this, but I think that the reason why it bothers the girlfriend is because the person that he had lunch with is kind of hot.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
She's kind of hot.
Absolutely.
And because she saw the picture of her, it's like if it was someone that she, would consider stereotypically unattractive.
If she looked like the lady from Throw Mama from the Train, I don't think this would be an issue. Yeah.
Oh,
We'd
nice
be fine.
reference. Yeah, very good.
If this was Sarah Huckabee Sanders that he worked with, yeah, smooth sailing. He'd be fine.
But that being said, I think that, so the person running the question is like, well, listen, it's a coworker. You can't say he's sort of pasting all coworkers or colleagues as I'm not looking at them for their gender, their orientation, none of that. They're just coworkers. So for her to say, oh, you can't have lunch with, this gender of coworker is her being narrow-minded.
I mean, the first
I don't know. That's kind of,
The first thing I thought was, who hurt you? Because this is obviously her baggage. Like, whenever you date someone, you're dating their baggage. So she's been with some dude who cheated in the past, probably several. So she's putting that baggage on him and assuming because he's having lunch with an attractive woman, there's something else going on other than two coworkers just having lunch.
Yeah.
So that's just for her to work out in therapy. This is a terrible boundary. This is not a healthy boundary. You can't have lunch with your coworkers of the opposite sex. It's ridiculous.
No, but okay. So I think that that's a very valid point. But how do you say that to your partner without like sounding? You know what I mean? Like, because if I said that to my partner and I was like, bah, and he's like, "That's your baggage. You need to work that." You know what I mean? How do you say that to them without like really like pissing them off?
Very carefully.
Yeah.
I want to sleep on the couch tonight, baby.
you get the blanket, you get your teddy, and then as you're snuggling in, you say, "Oh, by the way, that's your baggage night."
Bye.
I think you're being very generous about the jealous girlfriend. I think you're being very, very thinking of the best possible reason why. I think she's cheating. I think she's
Really?
You think the
projecting.
girlfri's cheating?
Absolutely. Or
You think
she's
this
like,
is-
wants to?
Ooh, I love that
or
twist.
she's feeling like
Not
some
bad.
sort of temptation with. I mean, like I want it to be your take on it. I want it to be that she's like just complicated. She's working out therapy, but I think she's.
Wow, dude.
It's either like a tacit way to cover for her own, transgressions, or she's working from a point of view which is like, I'm not happy in this relationship. I wish I could have lunch with somebody hot like he is. If I can't do it, he can't either. I think she's
Wow, dude, who hurt you? Like, wow, that's he's over there, man. He's going like full QAnon.
Right.
He's like, it's a false flag operation.
It's like like that
I love that.
that double down. It's like I'm not drunk. You're drunk.
Yeah.
You're
I can't believe you would have lunch with another woman. Don't you know we're in a committed relationship and cheating is wrong? All right, listen, come out from under the bed. I talked him out. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I did a false flag operation. He thinks I'm a Mormon now.
Yeah.
I convinced him I'm super.
I would
conservative with
appreciate it if she was like honest though, in the sense where she's like, listen, I don't want you to have lunch with a girl that's that hot. I don't want that. He just said it straight to her face, to his face like that. No, I need to be able to see them. I need to rate them. You can only hang out with girls I'm not threatened by.
I mean, this is like a more serious like approach to the question, but I do think that this whole issue, it speaks to something that's more fundamentally wrong in
with the relationship
And that's why I
in a
mentioned
whole
therapy, like maybe even
It's pretty
couples
rough.
therapy, because like if you can't have lunch with a person because of your partner's like insecurity, you gotta talk. You gotta talk about what's going on.
Well, because that's what I was just gonna say, in the sense of like, again, like they have this like fun game where they're snapping each other in the wild. This guy's he's not in a club. This isn't like a secret thing. They're in, they're probably in like a fucking, Panera. It's not like he's
Not sexy.
snuck off
This is not a sexy
to
lunch.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, if
like
if
a
they're-
speakeasy,
right.
and they're like
they're all
under
wearing
a
eyes
table.
wide shut masks and shit.
It's like there are wide windows. There are people walking
aren't,
by.
like,
People are
running
wearing
around.
lanyards in this situation.
Yeah.
That's not hot. That's
People aren't
not
running
how
around with their
people
mistress
cheat.
in public. Usually.
No.
Yeah, she's probably wearing a cardigan. Just a bad look. You know what I mean?
And any
I just said I was sensitive about my librarian look.
Yeah, any mistress who cheats in a pullover cardigan in a Panera Bread is the saddest mistress. She's the saddest side piece.
I'm
Pullover
going
cardigan
shopping
is
this
not
weekend.
oxymoron.
Going
I've never
shopping
seen a
this weekend.
pullover cardigan. Do those exist?
I think
Yeah.
so. I don't know.
But yeah, again, it's the fact that his friend caught him. He's not, ashamed or embarrassed. It wasn't like he knew that the picture went out. He didn't immediately address it. He waited the whole day, the whole afternoon, then got home. Hours happened, and then she's like,
Oh, she let it marinate. She let it ferment.
yeah.
She
But
let
if
it.
he was
It's like
guil-
Macallan
if he was
18 now.
guilty of
It's strong.
something, if he was guilty of something, this would have like blown up by 1:30.
Yeah,
no,
that's true.
He
That's
like
true.
he finished a financial report.
Yeah.
Went
I
home, probably
got
got
some.
gas.
I got some comments here. Let's see. Eugene on YouTube says, I still think love is dead. Let's see. Joel on YouTube says, lease a lady, rent a muff. I don't know. That might be an old comment. Matt said, I have stalked her through Southeast Asia. I think that's a quote. I think it's a movie quote.
Maybe.
Yeah, Matt says it was, let's see. It was called College Living Together for 4 years. Joel says living together for 4 years, a short-term lease, probably first offense. Matt says, no jealousy, you're bad in bed. Eugene says, or I can get a woman from the street for a night. Matt, are they buying hookers on here? Did this become the dark web? What the hell happened? Is this like 8chan, 16chan? What the hell's going on?
Sex work is work. Like, yeah.
Yeah. It's just, it gives you more STDs and stab wounds in most work.
Whoa.
Matt on YouTube says, you are bad in bed, sir. You think Patrick Mahomes just picked up the gift of football, or did he have an instinct? You have to lower your standards.
That's a bad reference because Patrick Mahomes' wife is a nightmare. And
is she?
She's a nightmare. Is anyone else?
You're from Kansas City, right?
She's a nightmare.
She has a lot to say.
She got a lot
right?
to say, and she ain't.
I've seen her amped up at the games. I've only seen little clips. I don't really know that much.
She's a nightmare.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I know what rabbit hole I'm going down later. Right?
Yeah. Look up Patrick Mahomes' wife and his brother.
Oh, Jackson Mahomes. Yeah.
His
I heard about
brother
that.
is hilarious.
Yeah. I heard he's just funny, and he like jumps around and takes selfies like at practice and shit like that.
They're also
right?
like the funniest like pairing of brothers.
Yeah.
It's like one that's like super macho, like football, like superstar. And there's just like the most fey, like TikTok dancing. Like
awesome.
their dad must be like, what happened?
Yeah.
This is such a weird pairing of people.
He's like doing TikTok challenges at the Super Bowl and shit.
Yeah. They were saying that Patrick paid him to reel it in this season because like he really didn't he really didn't post much the last few months.
I mean
did
that gentleman will twerk anywhere.
Yeah.
Funeral, anywhere he will.
But he hasn't been posting, and so they were saying that Patrick paid him off.
It's pretty wild when you're like megastar, multimillionaire, quarterback, older brother pays you to twerk less. That's the weirdest way anyone has ever made money in the history of currency.
Usually people get paid to twerk more.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, he's got a niche corner of the market right there.
I would do that if that were my brother.
I like the idea that like, Patrick Mahomes was like, hey, can you tone her down? And his brother's like, I'm gonna need some money.
Well, but also when your brother's making like $400 million, I think it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
I think everyone's gonna be made whole at the end of the day.
He's got some anti-twerk.
I mean, how many times has Patrick Mahomes been in the locker room and then like someone passes him a phone?
Yeah.
Is this gonna be my brother twerking again? And he's just like, yeah. It's like, God damn it!
I gotta get another win. I gotta throw another 5 touchdowns. I gotta make up for this.
That's like the number one prank in the Chiefs locker room. It's like, oh, look at this one. We gotta show Patrick.
And we know about it. Like this is like national news. That means like the defensive linemen and linebackers are yelling shit like, I'm gonna pound you like your brother gets pounded on Instagram.
God.
And it's just a whole. It's like, God damn it. Now I'm getting shit talked by a linebacker because of you.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
like if you go through Travis Kelce's history, it's just his brother lining up videos. Hey Patrick. Hey.
Maybe it's like a boy named Sue type of thing though. It's like he got so mad that the defense was yelling shit about his brother that he's like, fuck that, I'm getting another ring. Fuck these guys,
absolutely.
And it kind of worked.
That's
and
the
so
fire.
now the coach is secretly paying the brother to twerk more anyway. He's like, I know your brother's paying you $200,000 to not twerk on Instagram. He's been killing it because he's mad about what the opposing team's defensive line is saying to him over the line of scrimmage. So I will pay you $500,000 to twerk twice as much as you were before. Anyway,
that being said.
Matt on YouTube says, Joel on YouTube says, good point. Leslie, I don't know who that. Matt on YouTube says this guy is delusional. They started stalking her, then started stalking her. I have no idea. Standards. Matt on YouTube says football is not a nightmare. That's why we played football. Eugene said, when I twerk, I have my clothes on. Matt says, Lamar Hamlin's wife put them on a budget. She doesn't see a future. He says Aaron Donald from the LA Rams discovered the twerk.
You guys ever look at the chat and just see a manifesto?
Yeah.
I feel like this is the most likely place to find a manifesto.
I know. I love it, man.
YouTube chat section.
Yeah.
We're going to be on Netflix one day on a doc going, yeah, we were just talking about dating questions from Reddit. This guy started going all off about what the fuck he was going to do at Kmart.
But what I will say is this is a safe space for you to post your manifesto, listeners.
Yeah, give us your comments. Give us your manifestos live on YouTube at 8:30 p.m. Eastern every single Thursday.
Oh, yeah, here's
and
one
don't
right now.
Forget to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Send your manifestos and like and subscribe.
Yeah. So I'm going to give my final advice for this question. My final advice is, yeah, I mean, I think that your girlfriend is jealous. There's some fundamental issues with your relationship. And honestly, like, not to age shame by any way, shape, or form, but I think that the biggest fundamental problem in your relationship is that you're both 24. Okay,
Yeah, it's rough.
It's
rough.
This is probably not going to be the forever relationship, but the good news is that you're learning from this and you're keeping a very level head about it and saying, you know, really positive things like, I can go to lunch with any gender of coworker, and how dare you judge me? I think, you know, you just keep doing you, and I think that your girlfriend is going to eventually, you know, live and learn. Yeah, the fact that you guys have been together for 4 years, I think you're going to be together for 4.25 years. So, yeah. Anyway, that's my final advice. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that, Jesus, I mean, they've been together, and the years they've been together, the ages were even younger than 24.
Yeah, I mean,
This is the most mature they've been in those 4 years, and this is what we got. I mean,
right.
I don't know, man. It's definitely like, it doesn't bode well. I mean, listen, you know, it could be just like flailings to try to like stir some shit. Some people start stirring shit because they can't just straight up, you know, don't know how to straight up end something. You know
She
what I mean?
needs content.
Sure.
She's creating content.
Whether it's conscious or not, she could be like just sort of like trying to create some sort of drama just to like be like, you know what, this isn't working out or whatever. Although I do like the idea that if this fella heard the advice that this isn't going to be your forever relationship, it actually made him relax. He's like, oh, I don't have to be with her forever. Cool, okay, yeah. And then I can take any kind of criticism actually.
Yeah.
Any other final advice?
So the obvious advice to this guy is, I don't think she's so much upset that you're having lunch with a female coworker. Now, she might just be obsessive, jealous, like whatever, got cheated on, taking her baggage out on him. That could very well be the case. I think a lot of it is how she discovered that you're having lunch with a female coworker, just kind of seeing a picture of it, and then she got to fill in the blanks. It's like before, we just walked from work to here and then walked back to work with our lanyards. It's like, I think she pictured like that, then we check into a seedy hotel and throw our lanyards on the floor and start fucking right away.
No one's ever been like, who's that bitch? When you know that.
Yeah.
When you know that bitch.
It says it, Jesse. It's right there. Like you can see it in the picture.
Exactly.
Right, there's actually a whole thread about this.
Yeah.
We've been doing.
It's like, who's that bitch? Oh, it's Lisa. It's on her lanyard.
Yeah. She started working February 2021.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be less jealousy if you see the lanyard.
Details are included.
Unless they're going full Kevin Spacey and Usual Suspects, and they have fake lanyards, and then there's just different names for the side pieces, fake side piece lanyards. That's the move.
Yeah.
But I would say the obvious advice to this guy would be like, maybe introduce your girlfriend to your work friend and be like, hey, do you guys want to go out and just whatever, man, get dinner, go to a movie, whatever. In fact, try to convince her, like, get a +1, bring like a boyfriend guy she's seeing, like whatever, and then it could be like a fun couple thing, and you just kind of look, she's friendly now. It's not just some chick from work. It's Jessica, you know, something. I know we're giving advice to the guy who wrote the question, but if the lady from the question is listening, what I think you should do is somehow meet up with her in secret, befriend her, and then what? Start feeding her. And feeding her. And feeding her. And make her the old lady from Throw Mama from the Train, you know? Fatten her up Hansel and Gretel style, but you know, you're not going to cook her in a stew. You're just going to make your boyfriend that fucker.
Yeah. Also, just remember, the opposite of love is apathy, not jealousy. So
exactly.
You know,
exactly.
If you don't give a shit, that's, you know, what reels it in.
That's right. You remember how Melania didn't give a shit about Stormy Daniels? Right. Same thing. This lady gives a shit.
There's no way she cares.
She didn't care at all.
I think Melania lost feeling about the time she gave birth to Baron.
Pretty much. She's like, I saw what happened from sleeping with that guy. Jesus, look at the size of this boy's head.
She was like, I did it. I've secured my future.
Yep.
I have no feelings anymore.
I like living in I'm marrying the ugly, annoying rich dude for the money in the Golden Palace, not the dick. So if I can outsource that part of it, great. I'd rather be shopping personally.
Again, I am saying that to be correct, but like there are many interviews where she's like very open about like there's no illusion as to why we're together. She was like she was very open, about like, yeah, of course, like I'm hot, he's rich. Like there's like, what are you people talking, just very European about it.
She wore a jacket that said, ask me if I care to a fucking hurricane. Like a hurricane relief site.
It was only until he started like, then she reeled it back.
It's like, I am not a first lady, I am a trophy wife. Yeah. Okay? I don't care what the 50 some odd women that came before me did. I'm fucking rich dude for money. I shouldn't be here. I'm offended I even have to sleep in this shitty old rinkety ass house.
Can't knock the hustle.
but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Like fair enough for her to, even say it aloud. So anyway, that being said, we answered that question. Let's move on to the next one.
Absolutely. Next question on the Love Gurus podcast. If you've got any questions, write them into Love Gurus podcast.
I snooped through his important box. I'm 24 and my boyfriend's 33, and we've been together for almost 2 years. He's truly the greatest thing that's ever happened to my life, and I love him like I've never loved anyone before, and I'm so excited to spend the rest of my life with him.
Nice.
He has been in another relationship where they were together for 6 years. Basically, his entire early 20s was with this woman, which is fine. I never met her, and I think it's dumb to be jealous of someone from the past.
She is a bit, though. I can tell by the way she wrote that.
They were broken up for about 4 years when I came into the picture. Now, he has spoken of this box of his items on multiple occasions. He calls it his quote-unquote box of important things. He's never showed it to me, and frankly, I've never asked. However, today I was cleaning the apartment and I decided to look. I was curious and I assumed that if I did ask, he would have just showed it to me. No big deal. I assumed it was baby photos or silly items that his friends had given him through the years, which a lot of it was, but then there was
a severed toe.
Other stuff as well. About 20 cards from multiple holidays from his ex. These range from motivational to just hello cards. There's also pictures of her by herself as a baby, and then also them together. There were also little notes that they would write to each other, telling each other how much they love each other. I'm beside myself about of this. Why does he still have these things? Why are they in his quote-unquote box of important things?
Box of important things.
I have never questioned his feelings toward me, but this is just making me question if I'm the one that he settled for. What do you guys think?
Should be good. Should be good now. Okay. I don't know how long ago that happened, but hopefully you guys can hear us again now, yeah? All right. Well, see, this is why I'm glad we have the chat. Because, once those little bars, that skinny little line, if that goes away, I've never actually seen that do that. I've never seen it turn it down by itself.
I think
has she? Are we back on?
No, yeah. Okay, we're back.
Has she talked to him about this? Did that mean? Or is she like asking what to say? She hasn't encountered him.
Well,
about this yet?
Just as a quick recap. Normally, what happens on Reddit is people freak out, and rather than speaking to people in real life, they get out their phones and they post on Reddit because they need the advice of 1,000 strangers.
There we go. We were getting room audio only. Now we are back to regular audio. There we go. Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
Okay. So normally what happens with Reddit is events happen in people's lives, and then rather than speaking to real people, they have to post on Reddit so that 1,000 people can comment and either justify or tell them that what they're doing is wrong. So he does not know that she has gone through his box.
Okay, so here's what's gonna probably happen, or what I imagine happening. That's gonna be like basically the TKO of her like concerns. She brings up the box. She tells him about the box. She shows it to him, and then he goes, "Okay, well, here's what I have to say about that. Here's your box that I'm putting things in right now.
Right.
I've got one going right. This is the one that I'm doing right now. Okay, this is like I keep things. You know, you're also a person.
It's weird. It's weird to have a box. I don't know. It just feels so old timey. You know.
I mean,
keep a
I don't
file
know where
on
you
your.
put the thing.
You got to put stuff somewhere.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Dudes are just notoriously lazy about like getting like nice things to put things in. Like you don't see guys at the Container Store. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be in a box.
That's a good point.
Like, she's lucky it wasn't in like a freaking bucket, just like sitting there on the side of the bed.
Maybe that is my important Marlboro red carton that I keep all my stuff in.
Yeah,
no,
I have a box, and it's not necessarily. I mean, there are things in there that like are important, but it's like, things like my birth certificate, for example. Sure. Like, because like there came my dad drew a line in the sand, and he was just like, I'm not having any of your shit, and just like sent it to me. So like I just have this box, and like there are things of like past relationships or just like but also like important documents that I will need probably at some point. And it's I don't know if my partner has ever gone through that, but if he did, I like totally wouldn't care. I'd just be like, yeah, like what do you want to talk about? Like tell me your issues, your insecurities about whatever you've seen. I have nothing to hide, especially because in this situation they live together, and I think that if you live with someone, that is, hey, yeah, it's so she's saying, oh, okay, I feel bad about snooping. Yeah, she did snoop. But there's a part of me that feels like that's not that bad of a sin, because if you live together, it's that's your space. Now, if they didn't live together, you're a fucking whore. What are you doing? Okay. You're a monster. But if you live together, I don't know. What if there's cockroaches in there that she needed to clean out? Do you like it that the dog's butt's like just right in your face?
Great. Well, it's half in.
The dog is
a dog that does not have boundaries. That dog needs to learn about boundaries. That's she likes making friends, man. She's a friendly little dog. I have another little dog that's evil. He hates everyone.
Oh yeah, no,
hates
that's
everybody.
Nice one. Yeah.
No, I don't know, man. It's weird that this guy called it his important box, because it's like I'm looking in there if I'm her. I ain't saying I'm doing it like right that night, but like if I stick around for a little while. Oh, you think
because he differentiated it from other said boxes? What if he's like a hoarder?
It's just sort of like
if he was a hoarder, his important box would have just had like just nothing but mice skeletons, just mouse skeletons.
It would be an important palette. It would be a crate of stuff.
It's like bobbleheads and like toys from Wheaties boxes,
just Doritos bags, just garbage.
Those are collectible pogs. Don't throw them out. They're my important box.
For a hoarder, every box of things is a box of important things.
Absolutely.
Everything.
100%. 100%.
So be grateful you're not dating a hoarder. Arguably.
I want to see a letter or a message from a insanely jealous woman. That is the goal of this podcast. We need to have
that's
lady,
the Mona Lisa of this podcast.
Regular lady just saying something reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. It's one of those catch me 22s, because the exes who aren't insanely jealous, they're out fucking some other guy. Like they're fine.
They're not on Reddit.
They're good to go. Yeah, they're not on Reddit. They're not writing exes. They don't even think about their exes. They're just sort of like, I don't know. It's like that song by, who is that, Goyote or whatever, that now you're just somebody that I used to know. Yeah. Okay. That's to the non-jealous people. You're just somebody that I used to know. They're all just somebody I used to know. I don't keep the letters. I don't keep any of that bullshit.
Okay, I will.
I am under you guys' sort of standards. I am a psychopath. That's right.
Because I've obviously spent a lot of time on Reddit for this podcast, I will explain why most of the questions are women again, sometimes it's men, but for the most part it is women asking advice, because the men on Reddit are asking for different advice.
They're pretty wild. There's some wild ones on there.
What's this bump on my dick? Number one question.
That's a very broad brush stroke.
Reddit will give you a picture. Still,
it's not inclusive
medical,
or by any means, but normally women are asking for specific advice. Men on the relationship advice subreddit it will be like, my girlfriend has left me. Like things have already, like it's an irreparable situation and they're asking what has gone wrong.
Are you saying that men have less emotional intelligence? That is a groundbreaking observation that is 100% true.
Men have room in their hearts for one important box, and that's it. The rest of all of existence is not important.
Yeah,
it's not that we're less emotionally intelligent. We're just more willing to live with things being wrong. That's all that is.
Yeah, it's more of like, whoa, what just
That's
happened?
totally different, right?
Yeah,
it's called pain tolerance. All right,
way different.
Yeah.
That's right. It was what's his name? David Crosby, who wrote. If you can't be with the one you love the one you're with. That was not a lady who wrote that song. That was a dude who was just like, fuck it. Keep an important box and screw someone you don't like. Like that was that was David Crosby. That's what he did. That's what he said.
Well, my final advice for this question.
Before we do final advice, I let me read some comments. I probably missed a bunch before the tech issues, and I apologize. But now, since the tech issues, Matt says, show's blowing up in a good way. Technical shut down that punk. Yeah, that's right. Matt on YouTube says, men have safes. Eugene says, any of you guys married? Yeah, I'm married. And then Suzanne's almost married.
Almost.
That's right.
Couple months. See what happens.
Matt on YouTube says, not me, cuz. Matt says, I'm going to light this blunt, but he's got a question mark. I say do it. If that's a question, I say do it, good sir. Yes. He says Jack Hanna. Is that guy from? Is it the SNL thing where they would quote?
Jack Hanna's the
animal
not
guy.
The
who?
Yeah.
Animals.
He
would go on like Johnny Carson with like a leopard.
Oh yeah, that guy.
The leopard would pee on Johnny.
That guy rocked. Yeah,
leopard again.
He's backstage with a big bowl of water. Drink, leopard, drink.
Yeah. Dude, it's so funny because of what we know from the documentary Tiger King. I'll bet in real life Jack Hanna was a fucking monster. I'll bet he was out of his
probably
goddamn
the difference
mind.
between Jack Hanna and the Tiger King is meth. I mean,
Yeah,
like that's really
he's just better at
the only
math.
difference. No meth.
Oh, meth.
Had the Tiger King not done so much math, he probably could have been Jack Hanna.
100%. And the mullet. The mullet made a big difference too.
Lesson for you kids watching at home. Less
That's
math.
right. That's right.
Okay.
Matt, because I think that Doc Anton guy did less meth, and he just became more evil. I think
less meth, less cult, less.
Yeah, just less of everything that most of those guys do. Matt on YouTube says, if you're a guy with an important box, you might be Caitlyn Jenner. He says, with the dog, it looks like a Rockwell painting. If he was Italian. Eugene says it's Miller time. There you go, man. Light the blunt, crack the Miller. It's the way to do it. Yeah. Matt says the dog is not intrigued. Dog sport.
I know this dog is really not jazzing our podcast. She's so cute, but she's not really bringing the energy.
She's just
Sangria. Wake up and pay attention.
Yeah. Sangria's a terrible podcast co-host.
Great
She's
name.
terrible at it. Yeah. We name our dogs after booze. That's the way we do it.
Well, yeah, okay. So again, my final advice for this question is: listen, if you're gonna go snooping, have a tough enough skin for what you're gonna find. Don't go through his important box and then get all butthurt that you're not the most important person in the world. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, what are you talking about? Have a tough skin. That's true. That's my final advice.
That's true. I guess my final advice would be. I mean, the emotionally mature thing to do would just be to leave it alone. Maybe get your own important box and then test him. Put something weird in there.
This is a test. You failed.
Just put a severed hand in the box.
Just a fake severed hand that looks super real. Yeah. Just something. Just a necklace of severed dongs, something like that. You know what I mean? And just because he's got to say something at that point, and just sort of test him. But what I think, so that's the emotionally mature thing.
She should ask herself. Would I care if he threw away everything I ever gave him we broke up?
Ooh,
right. Oh, that's a good point.
Great
the answer
question.
is right there.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Great question.
What you could do if you really want to be bitter about this box is you take the contents of it and you leave a note in there that's one of those old school 90s, ransom notes from Cutout magazine things. If you ever want to see the contents of your important box thing alive. Right. and then you send them on a scavenger hunt and just really fucking troll them.
Yeah. Well, I think we answered that question. I think let's just do one more question because this one to me is a little bit to unpack.
Yeah, all right. Next question on the Love Gurus podcast. People, if you've got questions to write into the Love Gurus podcast, write them into loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com, or even better, watch next week live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Like and subscribe. Give us your questions. Oh, Joel on YouTube says, I have an important box. It's called my gun safe. Yeah, you're right. It's going to get manifesto-y. This is awesome. Sure. That's right. That is an important box. Joanne says, it's a box off. Outbox each other's box. I love it. Matt says they all...
I've seen that video. It was really hot. Like two girls.
That's right. It always has a happy ending every time that video. Let's see. Matt on YouTube says they all do You're not a man until you have two phones. Eugene says she needs to pull used condoms. She needs to put used condoms in the box.
Hell yeah.
Matt
Whoa. There are two ways to go about this. There's I want to keep this relationship, and then scorched earth.
Yeah. I think go
scorched
condoms
earth. Is the scorched earth way.
Yes.
Which I'm not opposed to. Just saying it's a different method.
100%.
There's more than two ways to bake a cake.
Yeah. Photoshop yourself in one of those box off videos they got on YouTube, or Pornhub or whatever, and just fucking leave pictures of that in there. Go crazy.
Wouldn't it be awesome? This is so fucking random, but do you guys remember Redbox?
Yeah.
What if you could somehow get a porn of yourself in the local Redbox, so when your partner goes to rent a film, your own porn
I like that.
is an option.
I like that.
To rent from Redbox. I mean, this idea is 15 years.
Did they have porn in
late.
Redbox?
But I'm just saying, like they're
I
going through, and it's like, because it was like buttons, right?
Yeah.
This is like prehistoric OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like buttons, and one of the buttons is just your girl getting fucked. I'll do that one.
Wait a minute. I know that birthmark on the ass cheek there. What the hell? You know?
What do I want to watch? Jurassic World, Harry and my girl getting fucked.
Yeah. Why is this in between Harriet Potter 2 and the fucking the new Fast and Furious?
I just feel like there are some bodegas in Astoria that you could have paid them off. To get them to have that in their red box.
Oh yeah,
no, it's like one of those examples for like the photo booth thing. It's like, instead of your face here, it's like your girl here.
All right, here's what you do.
Do you recognize this butthole?
This could be. Well, it's like a revenge porn service. We just take it's like the deep fake thing.
Yeah.
It's great.
Here's what you do. You post up outside the red box. You see who restocks it. You start follow that guy home. Fuck him, right? And then you make the porn with that guy. And then you have him replace every single DVD in the red box of him and you fucking up against the side of that red box after the 7-Eleven closes or whatever they get. And so he just, he rents Top Gun. And he's just like,
this isn't Top Gun.
At the beginning he says, Top Gun 3. Like, Top Gun 3.
That's not the gun I was talking about.
And every you make a porn for every different movie on the new release section.
Yeah.
A parody porn for it. And you're just like, yeah, fuck me Goose's son. Fuck me Goose's son. And you make the porn parody for every single one and you replace each movie with that.
That's the greatest misuse of a film major I've ever heard.
Okay,
Goddamn right.
This is just, I'm just so sad I didn't think of this idea like 20
Good evening,
years ago.
sharks. There you go. Hear me out.
What's it, Mr. Wonderful?
Yes.
Mr. Wonderful.
Yes. Mr. Wonderful, I know you've been cheated on. I know you've been very bitter about it. But have I got something for you?
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Last question.
All right. Last question on the Love Gurus podcast. People, if you've got questions to write them into loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. For right now, we're going to take another one last one from the wild animals on Reddit. Is this question 3 or 4?
3.
3. And this is the last one, right?
Yeah, last one. My husband's having an affair. I'm 52 and my husband is 64. He's having an affair, but to be fair, it's partially my fault. Or is it? We've been married for more than 30 years. However, for the past 10 years, we've been sleeping in separate areas of the house and barely speaking. He's tried several times to approach me for intimacy, but each time I've declined. The last time I declined was maybe 4 years ago, where he asked me, and I thought it was going to happen, and I told him, I don't care what you want to do. Well, a little over a year ago, his best friend passed away, and over the course of his grieving and checking in on his best friend's widow, during her grieving, they began sharing stories about her husband / his best friend, and they ended up getting closer and closer. I don't know how far in, but they fell in love. Mind you, they were talking on average of 10 hours a day. Eventually, I aggressively confronted him and asked him if he loves her. He said yes. She flew here, and they stayed together for 4 days before I actually knew for sure that this was a thing. They wanted to be sure that their feelings for each other were mutual. Obviously, it is.
Whoopsie-doo.
Since then, he and I have been talking a lot more, and he's even moved back into our marital bed upstairs. But he has, in no uncertain terms, told me that he has no intention of, quote-unquote, leaving her, even though it's a long-distance relationship. At this point, he's assured me that he's not leaving me, and that she doesn't want to steal him from me, but they do continue to talk most days, and they want to see each other a couple times a year. I don't know what the right answer is here. I suppose he's trying to do the right thing, but I'm just having trouble accepting all of this.
Oh my
Any
God.
advice or suggestion is welcome.
I mean, first off, shout out to this man.
Yeah,
He really stay toxic, king.
Dude, you, sir, are the gaslight champion.
I mean,
you are the top.
He's honestly not even being.
You're
toxic.
something to inspire.
This
you
is
inspire
what,
us all.
This is what Dan Savage, the sex columnist, calls justifiable infidelity. I'm not even sure if he actually just calls it that. It just sounds like something he would say because she says they haven't been intimate in 10 years, and she would stop speaking to him all the. What kind of marriage is this?
Yeah, wow.
What is happening in this house?
Yeah. I missed the 10-year part. That's a long time. At that point, you're married in name only.
You're really
it's pretty wild.
Okay. What intrigued me about this question the most was, again, I think that we're all pretty much in agreement that the marriage itself is dead. But when she kept saying he's trying to do the right thing, what the fuck are you talking about? Right thing by saying, are you guys
she means not leaving her.
No, I know, but it's
because,
are you guys Catholic? What do you mean the right thing?
I mean, they're of a generation where divorce is really, really, really taboo. Beyond taboo. It's like a complete failure. It's a disgrace to the community.
Such white trash.
Your
I'm just
looked down on,
if you don't have 3 divorces by 34, you
right.
ain't living. Am I right?
Where you really living?
Yeah, so they're our vows were sacred and that kind of stuff, and I get it, but it's this is where this monogamy.
But that was another thing. That was another thing I was gonna say is if you're so stuck on the right thing is to stay married, then open your relationship up. That's where I kind of thought she was gonna get to at the end of the question, and she didn't end up doing it. But it's
well, people say that. People sometimes say that, just open the relationship. But it's just so not that simple, especially for people of that generation. Because that's the kind of thing that just isn't done.
100%. And if you're
someone that age, we wouldn't do that.
Right. If you're old school enough that you're going to stay married even though you haven't had sex in 10 years, you're way too old school for an open relationship. Yes. You would have left each other by year 1.
Okay.
You know?
Also, it's open technically, but it's this behind closed doors openness.
And open relationships require more communication than ones that are closed.
Checking in.
So they're not even talking just on their own.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not much hope.
But also, again, I think that the term open relationship isn't a new term. However, people having open relationships and sort of categorizing them as different things has been forever. It's I feel like we all have those aunts and uncles that there was one extra person that was always kind of hanging around, and you're just
have an arrangement.
Why is Billy here again? Well, it's Billy's weekend. And as a kid, you're just I don't know what that means, but whatever, I don't care. I got some Kool-Aid. It's there's that person who's sat in the car and you're like, why doesn't that person come in and hang out at the family reunion? And it's like, and as a kid, you don't know why, but it's like there's always like that, so again, it's not an open relationship, I guess, but like the outside of the marriage aspect has like kind of been there forever. Like, or no?
Well, the idea of getting married for romance is fairly new, as far as like past like couple centuries. The idea that like
how dare you talk about Queen Elizabeth like that?
Well, actually, I'm targeting you, Suzanne. But anyway, good luck on your marriage, by the way. I
also
this
only
is
married
out
my
of
wife.
Convenience. Don't you know what New York City rent prices are like?
I only married my wife so I could one day be the Duke of York Hampshireton.
And step one complete. Obviously. Yeah,
dude, it's going to be awesome when I'm the Duke of York Hampshire.
I'm just marrying my guy because his mom makes the best meatballs.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
You should have my York Hampshireton pudding. It's amazing, and I'm the Duke of there now.
Okay, but
the idea of someone being a catch-all, like you're my like business like we're joining houses financially. We're also going to be sexual partners. You're going to be like the person who's most important to me. That's right. All the blah blah blah. Any wedding vow, blah 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 that you hear off of the back of any kind of like a papyrus card. This is all kind of new. The idea that someone's supposed to catch all of these. You'd have marriages like there were arrangements for like the the joining of like financial institutions, and then you had people on the side that you had sex with and stuff.
Yeah.
I honestly think that like as far as marriage goes, it's sort of it's gone in like a bell curve. Like when people got married in the 50s, it was just kind of like you're here, I'm here, let's get married. 60s, okay, now we sort of like start introducing love, the free love thing. Then the 70s, then the 80s, then the 90s, it was like, you have to marry someone who's the best thing ever, And then so now it's kind of gone down to, okay, let's just normalize this out a little bit. We realize people are people. Like, it doesn't have to be this, like, fucking fairy tale that Disney fed us through the 90s. Now we're, like, kind of normalizing. It's probably not going to go back to, like, the 50s, like, almost like, platonic sans love marriages, but like
these guys are
kind of realistic about what a relationship.
Yeah, they're kind of behind all of that stuff. You're right. I mean, they're into the old school.
I mean, these two should probably just keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah,
they're obviously killing it.
Yeah,
No, so I mean, they should stay married because it seems like neither one of them wants to get divorced.
Yeah,
but she's gonna have to accept that like this is gonna be part of it.
Yeah, I mean they're the only two people who want to live like they're in 1958 forever, and so it's like they, in a weird way, I think they found the right people.
I just want her to download. I mean, because there's also loads of apps for people of a certain age, and I think she should download an app and like see what's out there. Who cares?
Oh, hell yeah.
Like you don't want to have sex with your husband, but that doesn't mean you don't want to have sex with anyone ever again. I think like start like asking yourself those really, sort of finite questions of like, if this is the last time that I did fill in the blank, are you comfortable with that answer? And if you're not, then fill in that blank with a new person.
100%.
It's also worth wondering like, why did I stay in this marriage for so long with all this hatred?
Right.
Yeah. Maybe ask like a professional about that.
I mean, dude, I'm not a marriage counselor, but like, if you haven't fucked in 10 years, I doubt everything else is great. I doubt it's all like, oh my God, we're perfect and in love.
I mean, they weren't speaking either, which is
arguably
a bigger problem.
Again, the sex thing, I totally get. Like, it's not that I get it, but like, I understand that, like, you probably like whatever, but the not speaking part to me is weird. Like,
no, I give up talking to my wife before the sex. 100%. 100%.
Isn't this all about a dead friend? Isn't that really what they came together over?
That was the other thing I was
going to say. Wait, I missed the dead friend.
I'm thinking about the dead friend up there, like looking down, like what the fuck? What, dude?
This is the other thing. And it's surprisingly common. What happens for people again of a certain age, if a partner dies, then so either the best friend will try and help the widow and then they fall in love like in this situation, but also
I hear a new porn category coming out.
What's very common are in-laws. So let's say, for example, that a sister dies, then the brother-in-law will fall in love with the sister's sister. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's in the family, you know, again, because it's just like proximity. And again, you have all that history together.
It's very Hunter Biden-esque.
Yeah. So, exactly. So it's like you have like, 30 years of in-jokes already.
Yeah.
That's much more appealing than, I guess downloading an app and finding someone new. You've got the history there.
That's very
context.
That's way more old school. Yeah, I say go for the apps, man. But I'm behind on the comments here. Let's see. Joanne on YouTube says she has no right to be mad at all. She shut him down for 10 years. Amy on YouTube, producer Amy, says he's not doing the right thing at all. Joel on YouTube says, I think the wife should join her husband's best friend as soon as possible. Yeah, I know the friend is dead. Matt says he fixes stuff. Let's see. Joanne says 100% justified. I agree. Matt says decent plumber and landscaper. Joanne says he should have cheated way earlier. Tucker says, Joanne, you're a cutie. Matt says, there's all kinds of drama going on in the chat. I love it. Matt says, if he hasn't, go brother, even inmates have more girls in a conjugal visit. Yes, he is Catholic. Matt says blood bond. Blood bond. Joanne says thanks, but taken. Now they're sending emojis, hieroglyphs. It's awesome. Matt says you get excommunicated. He says no divorce, not sex. You can have sex. You can't get divorced by Catholic edict. Joel says at Amy, did Suzanne just admit that it's all about the balls?
I mean, obviously, all about the balls.
All about the balls.
As a hit song says,
yes,
it's all about the
balls.
About the balls. About
why
the balls.
do you think that the ball shaving industry has blown up as it has?
That's right. That's right.
You can't. If you don't walk out with 2 clean Humpty Dumptys, I'm not into it. I'm not into it. Okay.
I feel bad.
Old man Winthrop Gillette III now has another yacht because of the manscaping industry.
People. I just feel bad.
Yeah, it's rough, man.
Yeah,
it's rough.
It's tough. It's tough because it's okay. So like going back to what we're saying, like the important backs guy. We were saying, that's emotionally healthy because he's not just disregarding what's happened in the past. Whereas this relationship, it's almost like if they have an important box, they kind of just need to chuck it out the window and start over fresh, sort of like Estella got her groove back-esque kind of vibe of like, yeah, like you guys have all of this this past, but it's not great. And so even though, yes, it's important to like honor the good memories, if it's shitty like this, like you do not have to entomb yourself in this. I mean, this is sad. I mean, this is like Egyptian
people need
shit.
to realize that it's never too late to like make your life better. So even though like they're whatever age they are, like people get divorced and move on when they're in 60s and like meet someone else. My dad and my stepmom, they met when they were 65.
Really?
Nice.
Wow.
They've been together for 6 years. They're
That's
so happy.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's great.
I love
like
that.
Yeah.
That's what these people got to do, man.
Yeah.
But real quick, we do have a little bit of a hard out tonight in like 5 minutes because my wife's parents are coming to town. Shout out to them if they're watching. But let's do.
And the 7 train is a mess.
The 7 train's a mess. If you're taking the 7, yes. But final advice
So
for
I think we've just said it. It's that you're never too old. You're never too old. If you're still breathing, give it a shot because that's all you have. If you're sat there on your deathbed of like you wish you would have like tried, it's like if you're not dead, you're not too old.
Considering how long it's taking for me to mature, I think I might finally be ready for a relationship when I'm 65.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Based on the curvature of my development.
100%. Any other final advice for this lady?
I think we're good.
All right. Well, okay. My final advice for her is, ma'am, you are clearly so behind on the times that you're staying with somebody you don't love and haven't fucked or talked to in 10 years. That's crazy old school. You need to what? fuck the guy that stocks the red tube machine. That's right. Find that guy and fuck him. I hate giving the same advice to the same people twice in a row, but like you're clearly made for each other. That guy's stocking red tubes right now.
We would have been
2023.
so fucking rich 15 years ago.
Yeah,
it's not a red
annoying.
tube.
Red box.
A red box.
Red tube is a porn. Is a porn.
Oh shit! It is.
Red tube might have gone well with a red box.
Yeah,
I do like the idea of like a street side porn vending machine.
We knew what you're talking about, but that being said, I still don't think Jake's advice is bad. If you want to put your videos on RedTube, you do you,
and
girl. Yes.
Find the guy that stocks the red box. Film the porn, put it on RedTube. In fact, new business idea. I'm taking all the old red boxes, hollowing them out, and then just streaming RedTube onto there for homeless guys to pay, $1, maybe some gin, whatever they have to beat off to.
No, they're keeping the gin.
Yeah. They're keeping the gin. So just pay $1, drink the gin, and then jack off to RedTube in my red box.
Yeah, like a modern day glory hole.
Love it.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, we answered that question.
We did. Thank you so much to everybody who listened out there, especially the people asking questions and comments live in the chat. Thank you to Joel. Thank you to Gene, to Matt, to Joanne, to producer Amy, and thank you most of all to our guests. Thank you to Colin DiGarbo. Thank you to Khalid Rahmaan. Follow them both. And until next week, catch us live every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Until next time,
peace, guys.
Later.